Oh.
All right. Okay. So this last method is called the method of pairwise comparison. When you see the word pairwise, what are you thinking?
Piecewise functions.
Oh. Yeah, I would have not gone there, but okay, I could somewhat see that.
Pairs.
Pairs. Okay, that's what this method is. Pairs. So twos. So a pairwise comparison is a head-to-head competition or comparison between two candidates. So everybody that's running is going to have to play every other person. And we are going to compare which candidate is preferred. All right. So these are my candidates. 4 candidates.
I vote Sienna.
Same.
You don't get to vote.
Oh,
Okay, so we are now going to start pairing them together. I totally missed an N in your name, didn't I? No. No, not yours, Cynthia's. I put Cynthia. Sure, she did not appreciate that. Now we do. So, I need to start pairing people up. Who do you want to pair?
Raul and Sienna.
Raul and Sienna. Okay. Because you
Sienna
picked
won.
Raul first, who else does Raul have to play?
Zane?
Zane and Cynthia. Okay.
You gotta lose all these rounds.
Okay. So has Raul played everyone at this point?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
We lost all 3 times.
So we need to move to somebody else. Zane. Who does Zane need to play?
Raul.
No one.
No. Zane doesn't have to play Raul. He already has.
So it's just Sienna and Cynthia.
Sienna and Cynthia. Okay. Has Zane played everyone now?
Yes.
Yes. So who else?
Sienna and Cynthia.
Sienna and Cynthia.
Well, that's interesting.
It's a pyramid. It's a triangle.
Okay. This should happen every time. So if my starter starts off with 3 people, my next one should go to 2, and my next one, you should always finish at 1. So if I add in another person, it would go 4, 3, 2, 1. If I add in another person, it would go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay? It should always happen that way. It's a good way to check yourself. Okay? So far, so good. This is how you would start it. Okay. Now, we're actually going to have a competition. Rock, paper, scissors.
So people actually can get hurt.
Okay. My first grouping. Rock, paper, scissors.
Sienna!
Let's go. Oh!
Beat him up.
Yeah, Raul!
Oh, you lame.
Sienna, how dare you?
Nice try.
That's not nice.
Raul.
Raul and Zane.
Yes, sir.
Jane.
Yes, sir. Oh, y'all cheating. Raul on fire.
Woo! He on
Zane.
fire.
Good try, man.
Raul and Cynthia.
Raul.
This is where it should get.
Let's go, Raul. Raul, let's go.
Oh.
No one
You
likes
guys
it.
were saying? Yeah.
Zane and Sienna. Ooh.
Oh my god.
Come on, girls. You gotta rip.
Oh. Come on, Mike.
And lastly, my girls.
Yeah.
Finally on the board.
Finally on the board. Hey, listen.
Sad for all the ones.
It's all good. Everybody at least got something. Who's my winner? Why? He won the most matchups. So once you compare all of your matchups, you start counting up. Raul won 3. Zane won 1. Cynthia won 1. And Sienna won 1. Raul is my winner. If you had to put them in first, second, third, and fourth, Raul would be in first, and Zane, Cynthia, and Sienna would all tie for second. Okay. It is okay to have a tie at the end. Okay. Did anyone win everything that they played?
No.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Raul won everything.
Raul won everything. He's also considered, and we'll talk about it, the Dorset candidate. Okay, so if I just gave you this and told you there was 3 or 4 players, so we have 4 players, and I took away this. Would you be able to tell me that Raul is the Condorcet candidate?
Yes.
Yes.
You would know. But 16.
I heard yes and I heard no.
Yes.
Those of you that said no, why?
You don't have enough evidence to show that we won.
Okay, there's not enough evidence. Who said yes? Why?
No, yes, because he if there's 4 players, Raul makes him one of the players, so there's only left 3, and he already got 3 wins.
Okay, if there are 4 players, you have to play everybody but yourself. So if I have 4 people, he has to play 3. So if he has a score of 3, he's automatically the Condorcet candidate. So 4 players, play 3 people. If I tell you you have 17 players,
16 for you.
you better have 16 points because you play 16 people. Okay. So even if I don't give you all the individual stuff, you can still tell from the results what has happened. Okay. This is the method of pairwise comparison. Okay. So your steps were you kind of know.
What are you looking for?
Put it behind you. What? Oh, you're right. I did. I'm so glad somebody has a book in the hand because it ain't me today. Okay. You got your on days and your off days. So we complete a pairwise comparison. Between all candidates. And points are awarded to the winner. So everybody gets something, whether it's 1 point because they win or no points because they lose. Well, what happens if they tie?
Like for first place, they play again.
No, not sudden death. That's what we just did in the round robin tournament with rock, paper, scissors. They played again. You can't vote again. So what do you think's going to happen if they tie? They tie, but you got to give them something.
The same amount of points.
Same amount of points. So instead of one person walking away with half, each person gets 0.5. They share that point. So the two people that are running, instead of one person taking one, they share that point. Okay? Anybody still need this up? All right, friends.
Wait, but that's only if two people tied. What if like it happened like down there? It was three people that tied.
No. I'm talking about the head-to-head matchups. So, like, when we did, if it was Raul versus Zane, and they both did rock, paper, scissors, and they both ended up with rock, we should have stopped there.
Oh.
And he would have gotten 0.5 towards this, and he would have gotten 0.5 towards this.
Oh, okay.
Okay? You'll see. We'll do it a couple of times here, actually. Okay? So, the first thing you need to list when you're doing this method is I need to know who has to play who. So, you need to pick a letter and make your first column of your comparisons. So, I always start at the beginning of the alphabet. Makes it easy on mine. So, who does A have to play?
B, C, D.
And B.
D has to play C, D, and then C has to play D.
Good. So, A plays 3 people, which means B only has to play 2 because they've already played A. So, they play C and they play D. Well, C has played A and B, so their last comparison is C versus D. So I want you to always start there. List them out. That way you won't forget them. So now, this is probably the most difficult thing for people to grasp. Okay? A versus B. You need to look at each column and only compare A and B. So, if I look in this first column of 14, A is in first place, B is in second. Who wins?
A.
B is in second, A is in fourth. B. B is in third, A is in fourth.
B.
B is in first, A is in fourth.
B.
B is in fourth, B is in third, A is in fourth.
B.
So, once we gather that information, A takes this first column, they've got 14 points. B takes the rest of it. So 10 plus 8 plus 4 plus 1, 23. B is your winner.
Yeah, erase that top.
You do. So, again, I might kill some erasers, but if this helps, A versus C now. You just compare those two. I don't care about where B and D are. Who comes first, A or C? A.
C. Dang, A sucks ass. So 14, 23.
14 and 23. C's going to take that one.
D. This 14 is 23.
Okay? Rodrigo and Alicia just said it's the same thing. If you look at these last 4 columns, where's A?
At the bottom?
Dead last. They're never going to beat anybody in those last 4 columns.
Oh, sorry.
So it's still 14 and 23. That goes to D. We move on. B versus C. First column.
B.
Second column.
C.
Third.
C. B.
B
C.
and C. So now 18. And C has 19.
Boo.
Just enough to shove them to the wind. Okay. Look at B versus D and C versus D.
All right, I'm good. I think I did it.
Sorry.
You fine.
Same
Life
thing.
happens.
It's the same thing.
For B versus D?
No, it's 9. It's 9.
It should be, B versus D should have been what? 28
28 and 9.
to 9.
These suck.
So B takes that one.
Oh, dang.
And C versus D.
See,
You said C. Good. I had 25 to 12.
C won all of them.
Condorcet.
Okay. Good. You said C won all of them. C has 3 points.
That's whatever
They're the Condorcet candidate.
that word. Condorcet.
Okay. They're the Condorcet candidate. B walked away with
2,
2. C walked away with,
3. C walked
oh,
away
we
with
talked about C. Sorry. D walked away with 1. And A had
0.
really slut.
What a loser.
Alicia.
So if I had to rank these from first to second, we already know C's the winner. Who's second?
D.
Who should come next?
D.
And then finally,
Loser.
loser. He says loser. Okay. Questions? Okay. Try this one. All on your own without me. Oh. There's only 3 candidates though. So how many comparisons do I need?
I don't know. Don't care.
3. AB, AC, and BC.
Wait. I don't like this one.
Why? Because there's a tie.
Yes.
Oh, wait, no. I know what to do.
You know what to do. You'll be all right.
Can you get your phone?
Huh?
Can you get your phone? Your phone?
My phone? Oh, did I leave it on that desk? Yeah, I can remove it from that desk for you. You're welcome. I keep forgetting that you move up for notes, which is perfectly fine by me. I still don't know. Did she tell you that before you came up
she said on that.
here? Yeah, see?
So 1.5.
to you.
I guess I'm skipping college.
No.
And then again, it's like, hi.
They all work together. I don't like it.
The only way for you to ever have a tie is if the total amount of voters is an even number. Okay. So if your total voters for this instance is 34, okay, you can have a tie because it can be split evenly. Are you Darth Vader? Because that's what it sounds like.
No, my watch is bothering me. It says I need to breathe
Oh,
because I must have forgotten to breathe.
mine doesn't do that. It buzzes and tells me I haven't walked enough.
My oh, I would
Last-
change. I would
At like
change watch
250, it'll
because
go. What?
my
255 more steps. I don't got time for that.
my breathing per minute is 70.
That's probably why I pace a lot. I get my steps in. Okay. So if you did the first comparison, A won the first column, B won the middle two, and A won the last one. So they tied with 17 points.
They each get 0.5.
So they each get 0.5. If we compare A versus C,
A1 with 29.
A should have been the winner because A takes this column, and this column, which means C took this one. So it was 5 versus, thank you, 29. And finally, the last one, B versus C. This was B, C, B, C. So it was 22 and 12. So when I added these up, A should have had what? 1.5.
Oh, 1.5, 1.5 for B. And
1.5.
Get 0.
And diddly squat. So if you had to rank them from first to second, you would say A and B tied for first. And C would come in second. Do I have a Condorcet candidate here?
No.
No. How many matchups would you have had to have win if you were the
2.
Condorcet? 2. Okay, so your actual definition says if candidate X is preferred by the voters over each of the other candidates in a head-to-head comparison, then they should be the winner of the election. I mean, it only makes sense. If you beat everybody you go up against, you should win. Okay.
I still find it hard to look at first place winners. Two first winners still won.
Technically, it's not fair, but you know,
Why not?
have 2 first place.
Oh, 2 first.
Somebody's got to win.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You can
That's
have
why.
them
That's why
fight
they
each
play
other.
again.
Have them fight each other.
Okay. How many pairwise comparisons must you compute in general? So, think about it. If I've got 2 candidates,
That's
how
1.
many matchups do I have?
1.
1. We already did 3 candidates, and we had 3. When I had 4 candidates here, I had 6. When you have 5, you have 10. And when you have 6,
12.
you have 15.
Take it. Yeah, it's weird.
Can you figure out how they get those answers?
Probably, but that's too much.
Because there is a formula, and I will give it to you.
I really can't figure it
I don't want to.
I mean,
6.
JD even found a pattern in here.
out. 1, 2 times the word. Add to multiply.
Oh wait, I think I see it.
What do you see?
So it went up by 2, and
Okay.
then it went up by 3, and it went up by 4, and then 5. So it's just going.
Okay,
6,
so
7,
this is the
8,
pattern
9.
that JD even found. Okay, it went up by 2, went up by 3, went up by 4, went up by 5. How in the heck do I make that happen? If I tell you there's
Oh.
78 candidates, how many comparisons do you have? Who's gonna sit there and keep adding? You don't got time for that? Okay. So that leads me to this. Your magical formula. N times n minus 1 divided by 2. Where n is the number of players.
Do like math. One.
Most of you are not going to remember n times n minus 1 divided by 2.
I sure don't.
So, I'm going to flip back. What you do is you take how many players you have, 2. You multiply it by how many people do they have to play, 1. And then divide it by 2.
Oh.
So 3 players. How many players? If there's 3 of
2.
you, you have to play
2.
2.
2.
Divided by 2 is 3.
6 divided by 2.
If you have 4 players, they
5.
have to play
2, 3.
3.
That's 12.
Divided by 2
6.
is 6. Remember, you play everyone but yourself. So that's where that n minus 1 came from. That's why it shrinks, because 4 players, you don't play yourself, you play 3. 5 players have to play
4.
4.
That's 20.
That's 20. Cut in half is
2, 10.
10.
2, 10.
6 players play 5 people. Cut in half. That's 15.
Teachers, please pardon the interruption. We are testing the intercom in the hallways.
So think about this. You have 7 schools that make up the Piedmont Triad Conference. How many pairwise comparisons exist?
6.
Mm.
Oh, wait, no. So
7 times 6
divided
by 2.
That's 24.
21.
2.
7 times 6 is 42. Cut in half is 21.
I'll call testing.
Any clue as to why we cut it in half? Why don't we just leave it as 42?
I don't know. You tell us. You're the math teacher.
I am the math teacher, but I want you to think. Think.
Thinking hurts sometimes.
Okay. Why don't I leave this? Hold on, let's back up. Why don't I leave this as 2? No. Close.
She
but
almost
no.
gave it to you. She was like, I don't know.
So, Derek versus Thomas.
Derek.
That 2 would also count Thomas versus Derek.
That makes no sense.
You don't want them to play again. You only want to play them once.
Derek won.
Okay? So, when I split it in half, I take away that duplicate of Thomas versus Derek and Derek versus Thomas. Okay? So, there is a rhyme and reason to this. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay? Now, in the NFL, you would not cut it in half because
They would have
we
to
play the Patriots at home and the Patriots play us at our home. So, you play them twice. Okay? The high school, they told me last period, I do not know. They said there are 11 people in our conference for football. You play them once. Okay? So,
Here at home, right?
There's 11 of them. They play everybody, cut in half. There are 55 games that happen between everybody in the conference. That's not 55 games that Lexington plays. Lexington only plays 10. But between Lexington and everybody else in the conference, there are a total of 55 games that are played.
Really?
Okay, that's a lot of games.
No, it's not.
That's a lot of
Just a
games.
little bit.
It's a little bit.
If you think about it.
Okay, what if I have 27 candidates? How many pairwise comparisons would I need to do?
27 times 26 divided by 2.
And what does that give me?
I don't know.
351.
351.
That should be a bonus question. I want you to do 351 comparisons.
Guess
No,
you're not
look
gonna
at
do
that and be like, kid, you think I'm even attempting that? You nuts. Okay. Question.
No.
We're still writing, so I'll hold off for a minute. Anybody else still need this up? All right, let's do these last two and we're finished.
Yay.
Okay, this one. Ooh, I threw in another one. Okay.
That's a big chart.
Oh, God. Okay, so we've got to do A versus B,
You could do
A versus C, A versus D, and A versus E. B then has to play C and D and E. C plays D and E. And we finish off with D versus E.
This
Okay.
will take a while.
So instead of wasting 20 minutes for each one of you to do each one of these, I'm going to kind of split them up here. Okay. So how about we do, I've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 comparisons.
Can I get D?
We just need to split it up so everybody does something. Let's do Caleb and Josue, you take care of A versus B. Malik and Corey, you take care of A versus C. We'll do Raul and Sienna, A versus D. We'll do Zane and Cynthia, A versus E. He's over here. We'll do Thomas and Derek, do B versus C.
Let's go, Tom. Let's go.
The three of you then can do B versus D.
Oh, we got it.
Okay, we'll do the three of you, you'll do B versus E. The two of you can do C versus D. The two of you can do C versus E, and I'll take care of D versus E.
Of course you would be yourself the easiest one.
Why is that the easiest one? Everybody has one.
But it's still.
She goes, Miss Smith.
Put your phone in the pocket.
Why is Quadasia calling me?
Quadasia?
This sucks. Ours tied. Exactly.
Made us waste our time.
Waste your time.
B and D. They tied with 11 each.
You were just saying C too.
What?
You were saying C.
I did the wrong one, see? That one? Okay.
We got B and D. Boulevard.
I did B versus C.
Boulevard.
That's not.
I'll see.
Oh.
Don't give me like that.
Sometimes you just look at
All right. Who's winning my A versus B matchup? B,
At 15.
15-7. Who wins A versus C?
A.
A.
How many?
That should have been 16-6. A versus D.
A 13 and B
18 or 13-9. Good. A. A versus E.
A.
A. That should have been 18-4. B versus C.
Oh, yes.
C.
No.
That was a tight one, 10-12. B versus D.
Tie.
That was a tie.
5 point. I mean,
Okay,
0.5.
so they each get 0.5 for those.
It was 11-11.
Make a wish.
Uh-huh.
B versus E.
B.
B. And that should have been 14-8. C versus D. And that was 12-10. C versus E. E. And that was 10-12. And D versus E should have been D, and that was 18-4. So everybody get all the results down and give me some totals. So we only had one tie, and that was B versus D.
Oh. Is that E?
Got it. 3, 2.5.
Hold on.
I wasn't
Chill
even,
out. Let everybody get a chance.
I wasn't even telling you which is which. I was just putting numbers out there. For all you know, they could have been out of order.
Can you come to the office? Why do I need to go to the office? What was A's total points?
3,
B.
2.5. 2, 1.5. 1.
Woo! Answer me this. If I add all those up, what do I get?
A number.
Yeah, I do get a number. What number do I get?
4. That's 4. That's 6. That's 8.
I've heard it.
8.
10.
8.
I'm on to 11, 12, 8.
Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Why'd you make us do all this?
Right.
That's a good way to check and make sure that you did not leave any points off. If I have 10 comparisons, that should come out to be 10. Okay, if not, you counted something wrong. The only reason I tell you that is I am the worst person for forgetting to count that half point. Okay, so this is a good way to check and make sure you didn't leave that off. So A's in first, B's in second, C's in third, D's in fourth, E's in fifth. If you look at the next one, it's the same thing, but what happened?
She dropped out.
C got dumped. C dropped out. They said, "Psh, I'm done." Okay? So, answer me this. If C drops out, is that going to change my
The order?
answer for A versus D?
No.
No. Will that change A versus D?
No.
No. So, what's going to happen here? I don't have to redo this entire thing. Okay? All I need to do is not count anything that had C. So, we take out this, I take out this, and I take out this. Because C is no longer a candidate. And then I recount. Okay? So, you don't have to rewrite this. But down where it says A, B, D, and E, we need to get new totals now that C is not there. So, on your page, whoops. why
A
did I
is
write
still
C?
3.
Okay? How many does A have now that C has dropped out?
2.
Oh, 2.
2.
You right. Come on, folks.
Okay? So, A is now down to 2. B has
2.5.
2.5. That one didn't change. D has
1. 1.5.
1.5, and E has
0.
0. Uh-oh. We just went from A wins to B wins. Is that fair?
Yeah. Yes, it is.
A was the winner. We took out somebody that we didn't care about because they didn't win, and then A loses?
Yeah, it's fair.
That's not fair.
That's not fair at all. Okay? So,
It's not very sensitive.
no, A should still be winning. A should still win. Okay, so this is a no. We talked about this, but I didn't fill it in. That's a no. Which matchups from the original pairwise comparison remain? All except matches with C. So we keep everything but who had the player that dropped out. We recount because nothing should have changed. C leaving does not change the fact that A beat B. Does not change the fact that B beat D. Okay? So that brings us to your last criteria.
Can you go back?
Well, yes, sorry.
Was that all except matches with
With C.
One vocabulary.
So we keep everything but the matches with C.
So for that project, you gotta add pictures for what? With that portfolio thing?
No, she said just make it your own. Is that what you're talking about? Like how
So
people
once
add
you
stuff?
finish your project, I will show you how to upload your project into your portfolio. But yes, when you finish your chapter 1 project, it goes on your portfolio. It's real easy to add because you guys are gonna do it on Google Slides. We good with this one now? Okay, so this leads me to my last criterion. It says, if candidate X is a winner of an election and in a recount, one of the non-winning candidates is removed, then X should still be the winner. So just because I got rid of C, who was a loser to begin with, it should not have changed the result of the election. Okay, A should have still won. Okay, while that is the end of the notes, you've got 2 more things that I need you to add. So either on that page or on the back of that page, because you're gonna need these for your vocabulary. So, fair voting. In order for an election to be fair, all 4 criteria have to be satisfied. I'm gonna tell you right now, we have not had a fair election yet. Okay? They can't find a way quite yet. It may be a fluke that it happens that they're all satisfied, but it's not a guarantee. We don't have a perfect system. Okay? There is no perfect system. Okay? So that's what Arrow's impossibility theorem says. It's mathematically impossible for a democratic voting method to satisfy all the fair criteria, which is why everybody gets up in arms over the presidential election. Okay? We've had presidents that have won the popular vote, but guess what? When it comes to the electoral college, they lost. So guess what? They're not president. It's happened quite a few times. Don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure it happened with Trump and Hillary. I'm pretty sure Hillary actually had the popular vote.
She did.
Did she?
Yeah.
Okay. So it just happened. Hillary had the popular vote. She had more of your individual votes, but when it came down to that electoral college, it's who wins the bigger states. Who takes California? Who takes Florida? Okay. When you get to the little old states like Rhode Island, do you think they campaign a lot in Rhode Island? Heck no. What are they one or two votes. They don't care. They want the powerful states, the states that control it all. It's 3 for Rhode Island?
No, it's
Oh.
3 now.
Oh, it's 3 now? It's 304. Oh, I forgot, yes, I forgot. Questions? Okay, your homework is on the board. 35, 37, and 56.
This one. This one.
Yes,
When was the last fair vote, do you know of?
with the electoral